Hello and welcome to another episode of Cascadia Mountain Weather. It's Thursday, February 8th, 2024. And here's a photo of actually some surprisingly good skiing that we got in last weekend. After all the rain, it really consolidated the snow surface. And here on a south aspect near Snoqualmie Pass, we actually skied some pretty decent corn. So I know the winter's been really bleak, but there's still definitely a lot of fun to be had out there in the mountains. There's still some snow to play with. So how's it looking, Wyatt?
Yeah, so this past week we saw a little bit of snow. We saw anywhere from maybe an inch to four, maybe even 6 inches in different areas. I think so. Like you saw a little bit up near the North Cascades, and this is over the last 72 hours. But that's when most of the snow fell. You can see a little bit more down towards the volcanoes down in the south area, and that's because temperatures have returned to pretty much near normal, if not a little bit below normal, actually, for the highs, which is nice to see because we were, absolutely frigid in January and for a portion of January, and then we got really warm, and now we're seeing pretty close to normal temps, and it would be nice just to see if we got a little bit of precipitation coming in. That also means that with those temperatures being pretty close to normal, we haven't really lost too much of the limited snowpack that we have, but we didn't really gain much either. Like I said, just a couple inches, but that didn't really bump up our percent of average snow water equivalent. So looking forward to this weekend, specifically, we're going to see a pretty weak storm move through kind of overnight tonight, Thursday night into Friday. We might see some convergence coming. This is going to be coming from the west and the kind of northwest. So we're going to see this convergence zone maybe set up kind of in that Everett to Seattle areas and kind of Stevens and Snoqualmie Pass. So we might pick up maybe a couple inches there, maybe even up to 6 inches. This is just showing kind of the precipitation as we move forward. And then it dries out Friday night into Saturday. Saturday, there's a slight chance of seeing a little bit of precipitation kind of up to the north in the North Cascades. So just be aware of that. Um, and then Sunday, we're going to see kind of the bigger storm move in with a little bit of rising snow levels and a higher chance for kind of larger amounts of rain or snow at the upper elevations. This is looking at just 24-hour accumulated precipitation. Let's see, sorry, but get this organized. So this is for through kind of from now until Friday afternoon. And you can see up to about maybe a half an inch of water equivalent. So maybe 5 to 6 inches of snow. And then we could see up to an inch of precipitation from kind of Sunday into Monday morning. So that's when, especially for the North Cascades. And if we look at the accumulated snowfall, we'll see that once again, we're seeing kind of up to about 6 inches in that area between Stevens Pass, which is right here, and Snoqualmie Pass, which is a little bit to the south. And then if we keep moving forward, we see that that snowfall really starts picking up kind of into the day on Sunday. And we see totals going towards a foot actually by early Monday morning. Unfortunately, what we're going to see is we're going to see really nice, lovely snow levels with this first push of moisture tonight. So snow levels kind of in that 2,500 foot range, 2,000 to 3,000 feet. On Saturday, we'll see with kind of a possibility for clear skies, we'll see them bumping up to about 5,000 feet. And then as that next storm approaches, we'll see them slowly drop down. And it depends where you are. If you're in the north, they'll probably start high and slowly drop down. If you're kind of near the passes, you might see them start relatively low and then bump up as that warmer air makes its way through. And so it might start as rain, and that snow level might be in kind of that 4,000, maybe even getting close to 5,000 foot range on Sunday. So just be aware of that if you're going out. We can look at cloud cover as well. So Friday's going to be a pretty nice day, especially once we get towards the evening when it will really clear out. And then Saturday should be pretty nice, especially to the south. The north is a little bit more up in the air. We'll see if it's clear up there or not. But if you get south of kind of that Stevens Snoqualmie Pass area, you're pretty certain to have some sun, although you might see a little bit of clouds throughout the day. And then you can see Well, we'll go to another model. This is that last one was kind of the American model. This is the European model. Once again, showing a pretty nice day on Saturdays. Maybe some clouds coming in from the west and the north, but down to the south, it's pretty good. And then we see the next storm moving through on Sunday. And then temperatures, they're gonna be, like I said, pretty seasonable. Friday night into Saturday morning, it might be a little bit chilly, which honestly could make for some pretty good skiing on whatever snow falls. Down in the lowlands, it'll probably get close to freezing, which will be the first freeze we've seen in a couple weeks. And up in the mountains, it'll be low 20s, maybe even upper teens. And highs will be kind of in the 30s.
So over the last week, we really haven't seen much change in snow depth at the different ski areas. Baker picked up a few inches, Snoqualmie Pass depth decreased, but this doesn't really tell the whole story because especially at the passes like Stevens and Snoqualmie, snow line has been hovering around 3,000 to 4,000 feet. So some of the precipitation has been mixed precipitation. The reports we've heard up at 5,000 to 6,000 feet in these areas is something more like 6 inches towards a foot of fresh snow. So definitely more. You can see Paradise got a foot. So we haven't had like any strong storms, but it's just kind of been like a steady trickle. And honestly, that can sometimes make for better conditions because the snow is time to settle. There's usually less avalanche danger. It's more stable. So I think that we're actually heading into a pretty nice weekend here. So let's take a look at the Northwest Avalanche Center here. Most areas are either low or moderate. Last weekend was all low. And taking a look specifically at Snoqualmie Pass, they're just kind of highlighting moderate just because a little bit of uncertainty. You might get a little more fresh snow on Friday, but then returning to low on Saturday. So that can mean it could be a great time to go out and explore some terrain. I don't think you'll find outstanding skiing conditions in most places, but I think also it probably would be better than you expect, especially in the areas that received more fresh snow. This is a picture Wyatt took in the Baker backcountry last weekend. So this big avalanche ran during the last atmospheric river event. So it's just a reminder that there's a lot of Avi debris like sitting out there from different slopes, and it's slowly going to start to get covered by fresh snow. But if you're skiing through that and you hit that while skiing, that's not very fun. So you got to think about what probably slid in the past and keep your eyes out for that. This is also a picture Wyatt took from skiing at the Baker ski area last weekend. Was this the lower like White Salmon Lodge, Wyatt?
No, this is well, it is kind of towards, it's like towards their central lodge, that the Raven Hut going up
Oh,
from.
okay. Yeah, so that's down below 4,000 feet, and Baker's basically bare there. But as you start to go up between 4,000 and 5,000 feet, especially in the west side of the Cascades, there's an incredible transition from basically no snow to a pretty solid snowpack. I mean, it's definitely below average, but there's a fair amount of snow up at 5K. So what that means is that a lot of access roads are open. Most trailheads you can drive up to 3,000 or 4,000 feet as long as there's no obstacles on the road or anything like that. And some people even reported driving to the Heliotrope trailhead on Baker and hiking in trail running shoes all the way till the opening and then skiing. So in a lot of ways, it kind of looks more like mid-May or so than February. And that can bring some unique opportunities to get out, explore, look at like, snowshoeing up a mountain or something like that. It's definitely better access. So Saturday could be a pretty good day to get out. Now we're looking at the long-term 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Classic El Nino kind of targeting California and the Southwest. And then temperature-wise, again, pretty similar. But it's kind of a toss-up right now. I mean, we might get a decent amount of snow in the next 2 weeks, might not. Not really seeing super strong signals. So you just have to stay up to date and watch. And we got to take what we can get. Beggars can't be choosers in an El Nino winter here. So if you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to subscribe. We also do have a Patreon. So we have individuals that support us, and in return, we give them weekly recreation recommendations where we dive more in depth about, like where we think the skiing might be good or what sort of activity, what day to get out. So that kind of thing interests you, I encourage you to check out cascadiamountainweather.com. We'll also add the link in our show notes. So thank you very much, and we hope you have a great weekend.